Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. It is Thursday, November the 18th, 2021. This is Wake Up with Ray G, presented by Bets TV. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Wake Up with Ray G podcast, and make sure you check out the dope lineup on BetsTV.com. Jay, how are you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm good. Yesterday we had a fun show. Everyone seemed to like your little clip, your little tidbit. I don't think we need to readdress what we talked about yesterday. If you want to go check it out, check out the clip, check out the show from yesterday. But episode 69 is here, baby. So it's going to be a nice show today.
Down and dirty, episode 69 of Wake Up with Ray G. I love me some 69. Yes. I'm happy to do 69 with you, Jay. This is a good day. There's nobody I'd rather have show 69 with than you.
Thank you.
Skip Richards. It's good to see you, man. Man, how's everybody doing? Carl, Matt Brunin, big weekend for college football, baby. Yeah. Got some games. Oregon, number 3 team in the country. Underdogs. Number 3 team in the country, underdogs. Yeah. Oregon probably won't be up there for long. I never believed in them, man. Just honestly, never really believed in Oregon. Jay, last night I had a work event, man, and we went to like this very nice restaurant in Dallas. You got to take this elevator up to the 49th floor, and you can't read shit that's on the menu. I'm looking at it like I know what it is. I'm like, oh, what do you recommend, sir? Victor. That was our waiter's name. His name was Victor. Very nice man. Couldn't read a damn thing on the menu, and our CEO was in town and looking at the wine menus. I don't know anything. I'm just in there thinking like, I really would just like a barbecue sandwich, something like that. And I'm like, oh, let me get this. And it comes out and it looks beautiful. The food was like this big, bro. Like this big. They're like, oh, it's fresh made pasta from the back. And it looked like, it legitimately looked like something I feed my kids out of like the Chef Boyardee like can. And it was hella neither here nor there. Fine dining and GQ. Just give me some brisket, barbecue, side of onions and pickles, man, and I'm good to go. I don't need all that. Are you a fine dining man yourself? Do you like those type of places?
Nah, I'm like a mid-major, you know. I'll pay a little bit extra outside of fast food, but not really trying to go to the fine dining experience. I'll save that for somebody else. You're
like the Toledo of eating. You're just mid-major program. You're Division I, but you're just mid-major.
I'll take it.
All right, neither here nor there. We got some news, a little bit of news. So let's get into the morning run. Wake up!
This is the morning run.
Run, Forrest, run!
Oh, hold on now, Chris. Hey, came right into the 69. Hey, easy now, Chris. This is a child's program. Children watch this. It's Disney. No, it's not. You can say whatever you want. All right, NFL. Chargers head coach Brandon Staley confirmed. Surprise, surprise, Joey Bosa. We know he wasn't going to have COVID. Unvaccinated. He doesn't have it. He was close to getting it. How are you close to getting it? Close contact, but he himself did not contract COVID, so it looks like Joey Bosa looks like he's going to play, right, Jay? I know it's like 5-day quarantine, So is he going to be able to suit up on Sunday?
More than likely, yeah. It's Jerry Tillery who was the one who actually contracted COVID, who we're unsure about because, of course, no one cares if he's vaccinated or not.
Yeah.
So it's just he got it, but Joey Bosa is unvaccinated, got to go through his 5 days, but that was reported early in the week, so he should be good to go for Sunday.
Yeah. Joey Bosa, we knew he wasn't going to have it. Joey Bosa will be playing this Sunday. Richard Sherman, The Richard Sherman experience has not been good for Tampa Bay. He was placed on injured reserve, injured his calf in pregame warmups last Sunday. So after he got who worked him that injured him? I think it was Devontae Smith. Was it Smith? Somebody. He was trying to guard somebody.
I don't know who it was, but
it was one of those young receivers. Have the Eagles and the Buccaneers played? The Eagles and Tampa Bay played, right? I think it was when he was covering Devontae Smith is when he got hurt. So Richard Sherman, injured reserve, another hit for the Tampa Bay defense, probably very small. Alvin Kamara returned to practice and is trending in the right direction for the Saints. versus the Eagles this Sunday, so we get to see AK-41 on the field. And the New York Jets, baby, they're deciding to end the Mike White experience. The player who should have been the number 1 overall pick in his mind a couple of years ago will be replaced by the ageless wonder Joe Flacco. And the Jets are just a dumpster fire. Robert Saleh and Rex Ryan, they got beef back and forth in social media. The Jets are a shit show, but Joe Flacco will be at quarterback, so don't fire up any of your Jets. You don't want any of your Jets in fantasy football. Major League Baseball. You're going to do baseball. I'll do some NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 47. Good grief on my Lakers. Good thing I was at a work event. I did not see the game. Don't really care. Nothing matters until LeBron gets back. All we need to do is make the playoffs. I'm not concerned with the Lakers. Who cares? Giannis had 47. LeBron's supposed to be back tomorrow. It's 50-50. Once he comes back, all will be well in La La Land. We will be good to go. Not worried about that. And the Bucks needed that win a lot more than we needed it. We'll be fine in the long run.
Pardon me? Needed it more?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, they needed it more. Yeah.
The Lakers are still 8-8. Like, it's not like the Lakers are 10-5
They needed it more.
Something.
We don't have LeBron James, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. Like, load management. The Bucks are the team that have returned. Everyone's playing. Giannis is playing. Middleton's playing.
Yeah, they had everyone back.
Everyone's back. They needed to win. Right now, LeBron isn't there, and that's like taking away Giannis and Chris Middleton from the Bucks. Like, they needed that win. If they would have lost to the LeBron-less Lakers, that would have been more of an indictment than Milwaukee absolutely blowing out the Lakers. Milwaukee needed that win more than we needed that win. The Bulls blew a big lead in Portland, man. They were up damn near 20 and then got outscored in the second half, 64-44. Now they're 10-5 on the season, still like the Bulls. And then the Washington Wizards, they gave their GM Tommy Shepard, never even heard of this guy, a contract extension because they've started the season 10-4. So the Wizards playing like one of the top teams in the East. I see it. Whoa. The Lakers are 8-8 in November. We got all season. There we go, Bruno. We got all season. We got all season in order for the Lakers to get their shit together. We're going to be just fine. Now, we got some Major League Baseball. We got people signing deals, awards handed out last night. Think we get the MVPs this evening. Jay, go on, hit us with some of that MLB news.
So last night, the awards were handed out. More awards. It was the Cy Young Awards. And Corbin Burns, starting pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers. I saw a lot of people cash in big tickets yesterday. Oh, my God. I don't know, Ray, what we're doing wrong, man, but we got to start hitting some of these futures. I saw Anthony Amico hit 100-1. So Corbin Burns won NL Cy Young. Robbie Ray won AL Cy Young. But yeah, I saw Amico hit 100-1 on Robbie Ray in like mid-June to win the Cy Young. So $10 to win 1,000. I saw people at 40-1 on Corbin Burns, 30-1 on Corbin Burns. Man, if only I knew that Robbie Ray was going to win the Cy Young, I would be a millionaire. I would put $1,000 on it. It's crazy. But then, yeah, so Robbie Ray, the big thing with him, right? Toronto Blue Jays starting pitcher Robbie Ray, he bet on himself, took a 1-year, $8 million contract. Now, just won the Cy Young in the AL for best pitcher in baseball and is a free agent, probably looking to earn about $230, $250 million with his next contract extension, kind of going the Patrick Corbin model of a few years ago when Patrick Corbin took a 1-year deal and ended up, winning the Cy Young and ultimately got a massive contract extension with the Washington Nationals. And then the Houston Astros have agreed to a contract with Justin Verlander. So your boy, JV, coming back to Houston, running it back with the Astros after having Tommy John surgery. He signed a 1-year deal worth $25 million with the player option for the second year. And then the Cleveland baseball team, Bruno, officially going to be renamed to the Guardians as of Friday, after all the backlash they've been receiving for years over their previous name. So good to see Cleveland finally doing the right thing and transitioning to the Guardians.
Yeah, I got two things for you. One, we got to go through that mock. So are you going to send me the images from the mock, or are you just going to read the landing spots for me? And two, your audio is clipping really bad. You sound like you're like chopped and screwed music. So fix that, and then we'll come back to you, all right? All right. So, college football week 12. Can you believe that we're already at this point in the college football season where it's almost over? I mean, it's almost a wrap. We get bowl season coming up pretty soon. But this weekend we do have some big games, and we kind of talked about one of those big games yesterday, Ohio State and my favorite man, Travion Henderson versus Kenneth Walker III, Ohio State. Listen, the line, I'm seeing anywhere from Ohio State by 19, Ohio State by 20 and a half, Ohio State by 21. So depending on what book you're looking at 19 to about 20 points. So we're looking at a three-touchdown favorite are the Ohio State Buckeyes. You see C.J. Stroud back there in the background raising his hand up because Henderson's probably off to the races. The young man is just super talented. And then you've got Kenneth Walker over here just playing like the best draft eligible running back in the country. Don't think he's better than Henderson, but I do think he's one of the best draft eligible running backs in the 2022 class. You can get Michigan State on the money line plus 716. I would not recommend doing that, but the over/under 68.5 is very, very intriguing. If I were going to bet this right now, today on Thursday, I would take the over 68.5. Ohio State cannot be stopped, and Michigan State cannot stop anybody. The good thing is, and I think this was a dope piece of news that dropped yesterday coming out of Michigan State, but Mel Tucker has been, I think it's all agreed to, finalized, I believe, but he becomes the highest paid African-American coach in major sports, like not just college football, not the NFL, the highest paid African-American coach in all of American sports. And I think he's only behind Nick Saban from Alabama as far as annual income, annual salary from a head coach. So well done for Mel Tucker. 10-year, $95 million deal for Mel Tucker. Yeah, good for Mel Tucker. This is Michigan State's been playing some good football this year. I don't think they're as good as their ranking suggests they are, but they've played really well. The move to get Kenneth Walker has definitely helped out, but just wanted to give a shout out to Mel Tucker, man. Or they're working towards it, or they're there. But $95 million over 10 years. That's crazy. But back to Ohio State. Honestly, I don't think this is going to be close. I would take the over. I see Brandon said just take the over. I would take the over. I wouldn't bet the spread because you just don't know. Ohio State gets lax towards the end. Michigan State continues to play their guys. They get a couple of cheap touchdowns. But the are y'all having issues with my audio? I just saw somebody, Reed Walker, said issues with my. I think my audio is good. I think I'm good. But smart move by them and good for Mel Tucker. I was a little on the fence with Mel Tucker coming out of Colorado, but he's been fantastic. Good move for them. The Big Ten is strong, man. I see a lot of people kind of crapped on the Big Ten coming into the season, but dude, the Big Ten is in good hands. Wisconsin is good. They said my audio's a little fuzzy. All right, well, we got to fix that. If it's a little fuzzy, I don't want it to be a little fuzzy here. Hold on now, people. Hold on. Nah, Ray's audio is a bit fuzzy. Hold on. Jay, you come on. Let me fix mine. Now you come back up since my audio's jacked up.
All right. So I was pulling up the mock, but I think to your point about Tucker, right? The biggest thing is that when you have a good coach, you have to keep that guy. But like you talked about, historically great contract for this guy. Like, the biggest thing for me is that I didn't see this coming from Michigan State. You expect this from a bigger program. But for a guy like Mel Tucker coming out of Colorado, for people who really don't know, one of the biggest things with him was that he's one of the biggest proponents of the reason like why Philip Lindsay is so much better than people kind of expected of him. He's the guy who made Philip Lindsay in Colorado. And so it's funny, I was talking to one of my buddies, Jordan Vanek, at the very beginning of the season, and he didn't even know that Mel Tucker went to Michigan State to start the year, or he was telling me, like, for DFS purposes, play Kenneth Walker because he knew Kenneth Walker that Kenneth Walker was playing for Mel Tucker, and then his knowledge of college football knew that Mel Tucker is the guy that made Philip Lindsay. So with that being said, Kenneth Walker's season is a bit a product of Mel Tucker. And when you talented like Kenneth Walker, but being kind of utilized in the wrong way at Wake Forest, right? You have to get a guy in the right system. But this is why we tell you guys that you can't always rely on the coaches to do the right thing with their players. You have to look at the talent. Where does the talent come from? How does the talent come about? And ultimately, what ends up happening, because the system matters just as much. You look at Kenneth Walker at Wake, he was a good player, not a great player. Playing under Mel Tucker, he's a great player, right?
Yep.
Philip Lindsay, same story. But now you talk about Kenneth Walker for Heisman, that's a different conversation.
Man,
Trayvon Henderson.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, and I hope I sound a little bit better now. I know the people will let me know in a second, but I'm telling you, bro. Good. You said I sound good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm telling you, I think C.J. Stroud, like the more and more I think about this situation, I think it's going to be Stroud. I think Stroud's just he's got more opportunity against higher ranked opponents to play well and to boost his not draft stock, but his Heisman stock. You know, this weekend, Alabama versus Arkansas. And while we may be excited because you've got Treylon Burks and KJ Jefferson and, you know, some of these NFL draft prospects, like Arkansas, they're an unranked team. They're better, but they're not like a top team in the country. Stroud's going to get like back-to-back top 15 teams in the country. You know, from Michigan State, they still got to play Michigan. They still got to play Wisconsin in the Big Ten title game. All these teams are top teams in college football. C.J. Stroud, if he can, like I'm telling y'all, at plus 200, some books you can find them at plus 300. Go put $20 on C.J. Stroud and make you some go out money for you and your significant other, because I really think the schedule sets up very well for Ohio State to put up big numbers versus good teams and then end up winning, C.J. Stroud winning the Heisman Trophy. Whether he's the best player in the country or not, it feels like one of those seasons the year Mark Ingram won the Heisman. It was like, was he really? I mean, he just was like the best player that year, but we know CJ. I don't think CJ Stroud's even the most talented quarterback potentially in the Big Ten, let alone the entire country, but they're playing well. He's going to have those opportunities to put up big numbers in big-time games. And this Saturday, the Michigan State-Ohio State game is as big as they come, even though Ohio State is favored by damn 20 points, which is crazy. Now, we also have Iowa State versus Oklahoma, and I don't think and Jay, did I not say this at the beginning of the year? Oklahoma always loses a game or two that they have no business losing. Every year, when everyone gets excited about Oklahoma and Oklahoma's playing like one of the top teams and Oklahoma should be in the college football playoff, I say it every year. Before the season even starts, I said Oklahoma will lose one or two that they have absolutely no business losing, and that came to fruition last week, and there's a good chance. I mean, right now, Oklahoma is favored by 3.5. We don't know Caleb Williams is going to start, but, you know, who knows how he's going to play. Bruning said it yesterday. He was a 50% completion percentage quarterback in high school, and I get it's just high school, but I don't know. I just threw it out there. I don't know if we jump the shark on Caleb Williams. We'll see. But I wouldn't be shocked if Iowa State beat him. I would not be shocked if Iowa State beat Oklahoma. We talked about Alabama.
Are you calling the upset? Are you calling the upset?
I don't think I'm gonna call the upset. I don't. Okay. I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't have the conviction. You knew I had the conviction. Purdue versus Michigan State. I said Purdue would upset Michigan State. I don't have that conviction today, so I'm not gonna just arbitrarily throw out an upset. Oklahoma should get it done, but when the line is minus 3.5, over under 60, I would take the over for sure. But 3.5, I mean, that's pretty low in terms of college, right? That's why I keep hearing this story.
We talked about that yesterday too.
I keep hearing this story, man. Lincoln Riley at LSU. How would that work out? I mean, do you think that air raid attack, that sort of spread and shred Big 12 offense, I mean, it worked for Joe Burrow, you know, but it was Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Thaddeus Moss and Justin Jefferson and Terrace Marshall and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, that was a lot of talent.
Pretty good
on that team. Lincoln Riley has shown zero ability to coach up the defensive side of the ball, and I just don't know how that's going to play. in the SEC, but it would probably be wise for him to get out of Oklahoma. I think that could be a possibility. I think Lincoln Riley to LSU could be a possibility. It'd be interesting to see the type of players he could recruit and what he can get down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That talent pool in Louisiana is much greater than what he's working with in his home state of Oklahoma. What are the chances Riley bails on OU to join the SEC? I think so. Skip Richards would like to know since he's taking L's. I'm kidding. Love Jay. Toronto Dave, holla at us, baby. All right, we got Arkansas, Alabama. Alabama is favored by 21 points, 3 touchdowns. I don't think this game is in question. Alabama should win easily versus Arkansas. It's going to be interesting to watch Treylon Burks, my top draft eligible wide receiver in the 2022 class. It's going to be interesting to see him go up against the Alabama defense. We know this isn't the same Bama defense as in the past, but we want to see players like that, especially when we're talking about fantasy football, betting purposes. We want to see Treylon do well. I don't give passes to anybody. They probably will not win. They probably should not win. But Treylon Burks, we want to see him put something on wax to give us some confidence going in to the NFL draft that despite situation, he can still thrive at that position. So that's going to be good to see that play out. And again, this wide receiver class is dope. Burks, Wilson, Bell, Olave, Drake London, Jamison Williams. This is a very, very good wide receiver class in 2022. Oregon versus Utah. At Utah, Oregon's going to lose. This is the upset. And I mean, I guess it's not even an upset. Utah's favored. Utah's favored over the number 3 team in the country. I don't believe in Anthony Brown. Justin Flo's been out. I know Kevon Thibodeau is an absolute monster, going to be the number 1 overall pick. But I think Oregon, the shenanigans, the jig is up with Oregon. Utah, handle business, get Oregon out of there. Go ahead and give the people what they want. I think if Oregon loses, this gives Alabama's 2 loss. If they lose 2, this gives them more justification. Like I keep telling y'all, everyone keeps disagreeing with me. Alabama, if Oregon loses this one, it definitely helps out Alabama. If Oregon takes an L here, it bumps Ohio State up. If Alabama lose, I'm telling you, it sets up even better for Alabama to still make the college football playoff with 2 losses. I continue to say it, man. I'm standing by it. Alabama gets in with 2 losses. Baylor versus Kansas State. This should be a fun one because these are 2 teams that play absolutely no defense, and we get to see one of the most dynamic players in college football, Deuce Vaughn, who I'm telling you right now, in 2 years is going to be a day 2 pick in the NFL draft. I think Deuce Vaughn is going to be like a 3rd-round pick, and for PPR leagues, he's going to be a monster because he's like – I know you want to say – I know we all want to say Sproles or Boston Scott because of the stature. I think he's a – I'm looking at like Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell was great at Memphis, but I don't know if he's that level of explosive type receiver that Deuce Vaughn is. I think Deuce Vaughn is going to be like a Danny Woodhead type running back in the NFL. I really do. I really do. And we're not doing the lazy skin comparison comps because Deuce Vaughn is a brother. Danny Woodhead, my friend, my teammate.
So why can't we say Austin Eckler?
I didn't think of that. Eckler's
pretty big, though.
But Eckler's a little bit bigger. Eckler, and I mean, DW was 200 pounds. DW was 200. So, I mean, he's a little smaller, but I mean that type of player, right? Third down specialist, can carry the ball, but really devastating in the passing game. I love Deuce Vaughn, man. That 2023 class of running backs with Tucker, with Robinson, with Bigsby, with Gibbs is incredible. An incredible running back class, and that doesn't even include any of the 2022 guys that decide to come back for their senior season. So Gio's a good one. That's not bad. Gio's not a bad one. I think Gio is probably – I mean, they're all bigger than Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn is not a big dude. He's not a big dude, but he's built very, very sturdy build for Gio Bernard. All right, Baylor versus Kansas State. Baylor's favored by 1. It's a complete pick. Over under 50. Really? That's it?
Well, remember, Baylor and OU last week, they played pretty tight. It wasn't a high-scoring game like we thought.
They did.
So you never know. If Kansas State can't really get going against Baylor's defense wasn't been great, but like you're talking about, it'll take a heroic effort from Deuce Vaughn, I think, to help them really propel this game.
All right. Well, let's have some fun. You wanna talk a little some landing spots for some of these skill positions in this mock draft? My man,
Yes, sir.
Jordan Reed, somebody that I look up to in the industry, communicate with him quite a bit, quite often in amongst the Twitter sphere. Just recently took his talents to ESPN and will be working alongside Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. We should all be excited and joyous because we've got a true student of the game that will be providing some pretty damn good mocks in player analysis in mainstream media. So I'm so glad to see Jordan Reed in that opportunity. But what's he got? What's his mock look like, Jay? Talk to us, baby.
So where do you want to start? Because, we got Thibodeau, number 1.
Yep.
We got Aiden Hutchinson, number 2.
Okay.
We got
Aiden
Stingley, number 3.
Derek
to the
Stingley
Jets.
Jr. All right. Derek Stingley Jr. to the Jets. All right.
Now, we were talking pre-show. The biggest surprise is at number 4 because everybody, name an analyst, doesn't matter who you got.
Kyle
got
Hamilton's
number
at 4.
Kyle Hamilton
To
out of Notre
Jacksonville, right? To Jacksonville?
Dame. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen this. I just know everyone puts Kyle Hamilton at 4 to Jacksonville. Yes.
Yeah, so he's got Evan Neal.
Okay,
Again, makes a ton of sense,
I like
right?
Evan Neal. Get
He's
some
got Kyle
O-line.
Hamilton.
Slow down.
Going.
Get Evan Neal some offensive. Get Trevor Lawrence some offensive line help in Jacksonville. Evan Neal, fantastic player out of Alabama. Keep going.
So he's got Kyle Hamilton at 6 to the Eagles. I don't want to give away every pick, but we'll go through a decent amount of
Well,
them at the
just
top.
go through some of the key names. So the Eagles have 3 picks in the top 15. What are their 3 selections?
So first one right now is number 6 from Miami at 3 and 7, right? So they're taking Kyle Hamilton with that pick according to Reed.
I like it.
But
I like it.
our boy Matt Corral headed to the Washington football team at 8, first QB off the board.
Okay, Corral first
How you
QB
feel
off
about that?
I think that's appropriate. I mean, again, I wouldn't be shocked if it were Pickett or Carson Strong, but ultimately, Matt Corral's my QB1. He's been my QB1. I think Matt Corral should 100% be the choice. And if Matt Corral goes to Washington, stock up for Logan Thomas, stock up for Terry McLaurin, stock up for Curtis Samuel, stock up for De'Ami Brown, stock up for Antonio Gibson. That would be a fantastic fit in Washington. Love it.
Yeah, so at 11, the Eagles with their pick take Kaiir Elam, the cornerback out of Florida. Really good, another good selection. So 2 defensive backs with their top 11 picks, which is
all right. They're built
that'd be
right
a
now.
really good-
I'm my fingers are crossed. My dynasty shares of Jalen Hurts. I haven't seen it. I'm just praying Malik Willis isn't there for their 3rd pick.
All right, at 12, you have Kenny Pickett to the Carolina Panthers. I actually kind of like that fit.
Okay,
myself.
Kenny. I kind of like it. Is he QB2 off the board?
QB2, Kenny Pickett, yeah.
Okay,
12 to
QB2.
Carolina.
All right.
Then you have first wide receiver off
Hold
the
on,
board.
hold on. First wide receiver off the board. Knowing Jordan Reed, it's going to be Garrett Wilson, right?
No, it's not.
Who
He's
is
got
it?
the Vegas Raiders taking Chris Olave at 13.
Woo! They do it again. They
do it again.
fumble the bag once again. So he's wide receiver 1 in Jay Reed's mock.
Yeah, well, maybe not for his actual rankings, but he thinks that Vegas is going to take Olave. Then you
Okay.
got Willis going to Denver at 14.
All right.
Okay, so then the Eagles round out their 3 selections with Tyler Linbaum, the interior
center.
offensive lineman from Iowa. Yeah,
Yeah, the center from Iowa. So they're building around
Yeah,
Jalen
he's
Hurts.
good. They
If
are right now.
I were an Eagles fan, I would be happy with this mock. You get
Yeah.
potentially a game-changing safety, a very talented cornerback because they need defensive back help, even though the secondary's been playing well. And then you get an offensive center because Jason Kelsey is getting older. So you get Lindenbaum in there, who's been just nasty. Somebody I would hope the Dallas Cowboys, they would fall to the Dallas Cowboys. But all right, so Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, and Matt Corral, 3 quarterbacks in the first round. Are there in? That's a classic Raider move. Chris Olave, wide receiver 1. All right, give us some other. Who's wide receiver 2, and where's he going?
He's going. I want you to guess where he's going. He's going.
No. Give me the team, and I'll
it's
tell you the
Garrett
player.
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
Where's
he going?
going?
Miami.
He's staying close to home. Where do you think he's going?
Cleveland.
He's going to Cleveland, hanging out with Baker Mayfield. That'll make Cleveland fans happy to see Garrett Wilson come home.
Matt Bruning, what do you think about that? Garrett Wilson to Cleveland. How do you feel about that? All right, who else we got? Give us some more notables. Let's go.
And we got Jahan Dotson to the Saints, which won't happen. Every year this happens. It's not happening.
Okay.
They're going to take an offensive lineman. You got Drake London to the Chiefs because the Chiefs don't draft defense. They just don't do that. I know. Then you got the Detroit Lions taking Treylon Burks at 26 from the Rams. Yeah,
damn.
So Thibodeau and Burks.
No. Treylon to the Lions?
Yep. And then you got Jameson Williams to Buffalo. Think about that. Man, that would be nasty.
That would be pretty good.
That would be nasty.
Jameson Williams to Buffalo would be, I mean, he's going to run a 4.3. He's going to run a 4.3. He's going to be the fastest wide receiver at the combine. He's going to win the Biletnikoff this year. I would like that. I would like that a lot. If Jameson Williams goes to Buffalo, I would like that a lot.
Do we have Jaquan Brickser to your Dallas Cowboys?
We need a safety
right now.
We need a safety. Him or Daxton Hill. I like Bricksker. I can't say his name. I like him a little better than Daxton Hill. We need a safety. We hit on Penn State. What Dallas likes to do. Here's who Dallas is going to draft. They bring him in for a pre-draft visit. They're going to be drafted by Dallas. They hit on Micah Parsons. So Penn State. Dallas is like the most predictable team to figure out in the NFL draft. So were there any other quarterbacks in round one? Just those three?
Nope, just the three. So our number's looking good right now.
No Sam Howell, no Carson Strong.
Nope, no
Okay.
Sam Howell, Carson
No
Strong,
running backs?
None of them.
No running backs?
No running backs.
No running backs in round one. Garrett Wilson,
That's
Chris
no
Olave.
surprise.
No David Bell?
No
David Bell.
So it's only Olave. It's Olave, Wilson, Dotson, and Jameson Williams. And Drake London. And
Treylon Burks.
So 5. So 6. Damn,
yeah, six receivers. Yeah, six
Again.
receivers. Hey, Burks is going to be great with the Lions when they draft Bryce Young. He might be good with the Lions with Jared Goff because Goff doesn't want to throw the ball down the field. It actually could work out well for Detroit. I kind of like those landing spots. Not a big fan of Jahan Dotson in New Orleans. I know they need another receiver, to replace Michael Thomas if he's gone. Strong with Burks, Swift, and that offensive. Hey, Detroit. Let me backtrack. That wouldn't be bad. I mean, Swift, that O-line is legit, and they lost Frank Ragnow.
Yeah.
So you get Frank Ragnow back, Penei Sewell, another year in that system, DeAndre Swift, Treylon Burks. It's not bad. It's not bad. Any other surprising names? And I haven't seen this. I'm not looking at it. Any other surprising names?
Not from what I can see, no. But, I'm not quite as tapped in yet, but.
Oh, Chris. King Keaton has fallen out of all graces.
Well, if you want to talk about one guy I think would be another great fit is Jordan Davis going to the Chargers at 22.
Man.
Fortify that defense some more. I
Holy
like
hell.
that pick a lot.
You put that big boy in the middle of that Chargers defensive line to free up Joey Bosa, to let Kenneth Murray run around, help out Derwin James.
Yep.
That would be Drake London to Kansas City. What do you think about that, man?
It's one of those things, man. Would you be shocked? I wouldn't be shocked because they do. I know we say they don't need another receiver.
They do.
If they're going to draft a guy, then it makes sense. They can't afford to sign anybody. Remember last season they tried to sign Juju. He just said, nah. He's like, I'm not doing that.
Tyreek could be 27. Kelsey's going on 32, 33.
33, I think.
Man, Drake tethered to Patrick. How high would Drake London go tethered to Patrick Mahomes in rookie drafts?
I honestly don't think where he'd have to go number one wide receiver. Is there a better spot that we just talked about? Chris Olave is not a better spot. Maybe Garrett Wilson, but low volume offense. Jahan Dodson's probably not the guy and probably not.
You're not taking Jameson Williams that high, even if he's in Buffalo.
Even because Stephon Diggs is still there, and you have Treylon Burks, who's not. He could be the number one wide receiver, but not in Detroit. It's straight.
No, and no running backs in round one.
No running backs.
All right.
No running backs.
Slovis is day 3. Slovis would be a backup quarterback in the NFL. He's going to be a backup quarterback. He's going to be He's going to be Aaron Murray. He's going to be one of those kind of guys that they get thrown in there one week and get obliterated, and you're just like, Jesus,
How do you feel about Willis in Denver, though?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think as long as they bring Teddy Bridgewater back and they let his ass sit, I think that's a great player to sit behind. He's got the weapons, right? You've got Noah Fant, Albert O, Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler coming back. His dual threat.
Sutton could be gone, though. So remember that. Sutton is he's in his contract year, so he could be gone, but it depends on if they re-sign him.
Well, I mean, you still have Jerry Jeudy and those tight ends, so I think the weaponry around him, I don't really know how good Denver's O-line is. I don't hate it. I don't hate it for Denver at all. I don't hate it for Willis. I don't dislike Malik Willis. I do not. A lot of people are starting to think that I dislike Malik Willis. I just don't. I think the expectation for these dual threat quarterbacks are to come in and just be lights out day one. And I think Willis is just a guy that needs a little seasoning, man. I think he just needs to cook a little bit. I think he needs to learn. I think he needs to sit. I think as much as we want to see Trey Lance play in San Francisco, I guarantee you, like, this is probably one of the better things for him because Jimmy G, is playing well. He's learning. He's seeing things. I think this is good for Trey Lance, and I would love to see Malik Willis take that same type of approach no matter where he gets drafted. I love Kenny Pickett to Carolina. Kenny Pickett to Carolina would be great for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, so do I.
DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall. Like, he's Joe Brady's Joe Burrow. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, he's the perfect.
100%.
I love Kenny Pickett to Carolina. And if that happened, you talking super flex, I wouldn't be shocked if people took him, right there as QB2 or 101 potentially. I wouldn't be surprised because he's got the weaponry around him. He's got the coaching infrastructure around him. I would really like Kenny Pickett to Carolina. But, Jay, we've got a Thursday night matchup. Good grief. Mac Jones, Mac Daddies. I heard Matthew Judon call him Mac 10, and I thought that was kind of cool. Mac 10, the West Coast rapper Mac 10 versus Matt Ryan. The battle of the M's. Matt Ryan versus Mac Jones. New England is favored by 6.5 in this matchup. Over under 47. What do you think? Who wins this one? What are we looking like? Are we buying into the potential 7-4? Your New England Patriots. Mac Jones versus the Falcons. It says Cordero Patterson is a game time decision. Game time decision. We'll see how Cordero Patterson's ankle holds up. Damian Harris is cleared concussion protocol and is expected to play. And I love how you put in the notes, which is really annoying, but both him and Ramondre could have great games. Falcons allow 122 rushing yards per game. The Patriots offense is not playing well on the road. They have played some really bad teams on the road, and this game is certainly no exception. And they are undefeated on the Patriots offense is not playing well on the road. What is this? They are undefeated on the road this season. So
they're undefeated on the road. Like,
even though they haven't played well. Okay, well,
they've played the Jets, the Texans, that Charger game, and then the Panthers. So they haven't really played anybody worth a damn on the road, depending on how you feel about the Chargers. That's why I said, so depending on how you feel about Blake Griffin and the Chargers, these are not quality wins. We'll give Mac Jones the praises because he's playing well, but he's not beating these like world beater teams, and especially Carolina. Carolina didn't do anything. Sam Darnold threw 3 picks. But, like, the Falcons aren't a good team, right? Matt Ryan has played all right at home, 233 yards, almost 2 touchdowns, half a pick, where he's throwing, like, 1.25 picks on the road. For me, it's just, like, I just don't know how to feel about this Patriots offense on the road. Like, they just haven't played very well. They're not putting up a ton of points. The defense is playing spectacular on the road, like, so well. They've been putting up points on defense even still.
Straight up.
Mac's only throwing for, like, 190 yards on the road.
Yeah.
They're running the ball a lot more. You look at the Houston game, they played awful and barely won that game. The Jets game, they won like 25-3, but again, it's the Jets, so who cares? Then you look at the Charger game and the Carolina game. Charger game was close. That's obviously in SoFi. Carolina game, Sam Darnold threw 3 picks. Basically no contest. If the Pats win, I think they're going to have to run the ball a lot. And that's why I think that potentially Damian Harris.
Really? You don't think Matt can exploit the Atlanta secondary?
I think he can. I just don't think he will. Like, not often enough to where he's going to go like super high into his overs. I think he can throw for 200 yards, but I don't see like a 300-yard performance in his range of outcomes. Mac Jones over under 251. I don't know. Like, I'm tempted to take the under.
He's
only throwing for like 195 yards on the road, and that's coming off of I think 2 of his last 3 games were on the road. So you think about like half his games were on the road and he's not throwing for a ton of yards. They're kind of just protecting him on the road. They know that it's a more hostile environment. Atlanta's going to be loud in this game. You know, those Atlanta fans, I don't know if you were watching NFL Network yesterday, but they played that Super Bowl. And I don't think Atlanta fans are going to be too happy about that.
This is a Super Bowl rematch, huh? This is a Super Bowl rematch. It just dawned on me that these two teams played in the damn Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so you think from that perspective, coming into Atlanta, it's going to be probably a little bit hostile. Even though the Falcons aren't very good, they're 4-5. The Patriots are 6-4.
Right.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a hostile environment for Mac Jones, and he may struggle a little bit. But again, you know, we've talked about this with Mac a lot. He's played in it's not the Georgia Dome anymore. It's the Mercedes-Benz. Is it Stadium or Stadium?
I know it's Mercedes-Benz something, yeah. Kanye sleeps there.
Because there's 2, right?
Kanye West sleeps there.
Yeah, Kanye West has a little apartment in there. He hangs out, but it's going to be hostile. It's going to be loud, and I think Mac may struggle a little bit, but he's used to that. He's played in the Georgia Dome. He's played in the Superdome with tens of thousands of screaming fans. I don't think he'll be overly worried about it, but again, this is the NFL, not college. He's ready for the moment, but I think he's going to probably hit the under in this game personally. I like Damian Harris's over-under at 51.5 rushing yards. We know he's cleared. I still think he's going to be the starter over Ramondre.
You don't?
And we know the Falcons' defense.
You don't think
I do think he's going to be the starter. I think he's going to be the starter over Ramondre. I think Ramondre will get worked in, but I think Bill's going to stick to Damian Harris. Even though he's had some fumbling issues, I think that Bill's going to stick to his guy because he knows the system.
Well, Damian Harris is going to run hard because he saw what Ramondre Stevenson did last week and all the praise Ramondre got.
Sir.
Man, these dudes know. These dudes pay attention. They're like, shit, Ramondre's out there balling. He looks good. I got to get back on the field. So if you've got Damian Harris, I think that's good for you. I'd be interested on Kendrick Bourne, anytime touchdown. Kendrick Bourne is developing into Mac Jones' favorite wide receiver target, and he's playing really well. I know a lot of San Francisco fans were kind of sad to see Kendrick Bourne leave in free agency, but he is definitely developing in
250 on BetMGM.
250 to score a touchdown?
Yeah, 210 on FanDuel.
It's not bad.
He's only at 34.5 receiving yards, too, which isn't terrible.
No, I kind of like that. I think you can do a small parlay with both of those numbers, Kendrick Bourne over receiving yards and Kendrick Bourne to score a touchdown. You'd probably get some pretty good juice with that at, what is it? Plus 34.5 receiving.
250.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad little parlay to throw half a unit on. Just go that. I'd go Mac Jones under and then take Kendrick Bourne being the target. I know we're saying under 251, but Kendrick Bourne being the primary target. Hunter Henry's been on a tear scoring touchdowns, so I'm pretty sure there's no juice on him to score a touchdown. On the other side of the ball, the Atlanta Falcons, where all eyes once again are going to be on Kyle Pitts. 61.5 versus Belichick seems a little high, considering
way too high for me.
Considering they have no other receiver weapon of consequence. It's Russell Gage, it's Olamide Zaccheaus, it's
Christian Blake.
Tajay Sharp. Is Sharp still in Atlanta? 4.5 receptions. If I were going to do anything, I would take the reception total on Kyle Pitts and take the over, but I don't know if I would feel confident, Jay, taking over 61.5 receiving yards for Kyle Pitts in this one. Bill Belichick, I think it's going to cause problems for Matt Ryan. This defense is playing out of their mind. Where are you at with Kyle Pitts?
No, I'm with you. Lockstep. I thought this number was way too high, even though we've been here before with Kyle Pitts. We see those 50s, we see those 60s. We're like, he's the only target in town. But that's the problem. When you're the only target in town, you have to be that much better than the guys across from you. You may get doubled. And Kyle Pitts is talented enough that he can command a double, but I don't think he's good enough to beat a double at this stage in his career. He can still get a ball over someone or a perfect throw. He can still go over the top. But those are going to be too few and far between for Kyle Pitts, I think, in this game. Belichick knows. He's not stupid. He's not just going to let Kyle Pitts run all over them because he's a rookie. He knows how talented he is. He probably wants him on his roster.
Right.
So he's going to make sure that Kyle Pitts is taken away from this game. Like you mentioned off the open, Cordell Patterson probably isn't going to play in this game. We don't know. He got a limited practice in, but no one really knows what that means coming off a short week. If he doesn't play, that's the only reason why I'd be tempted to take the Patriots to cover.
If who doesn't play?
I just like the under.
If Cordell Patterson. Like
he to me is the X factor. He's the only guy who can move
even
the ball.
Even if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. Like he's not going to be 100%. At any point, you're like, it's game time. Takes one tackle, then he's off the field. Yeah, we all know Bill shuts down the opposing team's best options. My thing is this: New England played great versus Cleveland. And say what you want about how that Cleveland defense is playing together. You still have Myles Garrett. They still have John Johnson, and the secondary is still good. That's still a lot of defensive talent on that side of the ball, and New England crushed them. I mean, Mac had 3 touchdowns in the first half. In the game, in that game, he had 3 touchdowns in that game. I felt like they may have hit their stride. I feel like they may have hit their stride, but we keep seeing these teams that are favored to win show up on Thursday night and lay eggs. We saw it last week with Baltimore. Everybody in the world said Baltimore was going to roll Miami, and then they took an L. I wonder if this is a trap game. I don't think Mac is going to allow that to happen. And we have to remember, as well as he's playing, he's still a rookie quarterback, man. He's still a rookie quarterback in the NFL. I think we look at him and we just kind of assume, he's been there, he's done this, he's been there, he's done that. But he's still a rookie. But I think that New England's going to come out and play a lot better in this week, even on a short week. I think they are going to beat Atlanta. I would take the points. I'd give Atlanta the point.
So here's, I think, where I want a clarification for you and for the listeners.
Yeah.
Would you take Atlanta? So you're saying you take Atlanta to cover, but would you take the New England money line?
Probably.
So that's kind of where you're at. You think it falls somewhere
I think
between. Atlanta's probably going to cover, and it's probably going to take
It's a short week, man, and it's on the road. And we just talked about New England has not played what. I don't think Mac's going to go in the Superdome. It's not the damn Superdome. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium and just light up Atlanta. I don't envision that happening. We're already talking about the under for Mac. I think I would take New England on the money line. What was their price on the money line? What was it?
Minus 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not great. Not great. But I mean, I think they're going to win, right?
Yeah.
And I do like under 47 for me personally. I
Under
think
47?
this game's probably going to go under.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think Atlanta can dictate pace in this game.
I know this. I'm excited for
goes
this
over.
game. I am excited for this one. Last week I wanted to see Lamar. This week at least we get some stars on. We get to see Kyle Pitts. We get to see Mac Jones. We get to see Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris. I think there's some good players. It's Bill Belichick. It's the Patriots. It's a good defense. I think this is going to be a good football game, so I'm excited to watch it. Tomorrow we're going to get into our Fab Five. Baltimore, Chicago, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Indianapolis, Buffalo, Green Bay, Minnesota, and y'all know Dallas versus Kansas City is the premier matchup. I am really hoping that the expectation and the hype lives up to the billing, because this can be an absolute shootout. Dude, Diggs versus Hill, Parsons versus that offensive line, Zeke versus that defensive front, Tyrann Mathieu versus CeeDee Lamb. I mean, this is like a preview of what we could see in a Super Bowl. We could see these two teams play again in the Super Bowl. So super excited about that one. We got to run through the other ones real quick because we're going to spend a lot of time on Dallas, Kansas City. This is going to be fun. If Dallas wins, Jordan is going to call in sick. Should I?
Don't do it, Ray. Don't, man. Just
should I
please.
do it?
0-2. Remember that.
We will see. Tomorrow we shall see if the helmet comes back out. But until then,
do this. They are undefeated when you don't put on the helmet. Undefeated. What if I just put on the mini helmet? What if I just put on the Dez Bryant? Hey, Dez signed this helmet. Dez signed it. What if Thank
I put
God
on the
you can't put on a mini helmet. Head's too big for that.
We'll see.
Don't put it on your kids either. We don't need any of that bad luck.
We'll see what we do tomorrow on the show to talk about those Fab Five. But I appreciate y'all tapping in. Enjoy the Thursday night matchup. Make sure y'all tap into FTN's Fantasy Happy Hour. I won't be on the show tonight, but Elliot, Chris, Brooke Cromer, and I believe Chris Meaney are going to hold it down for your boy tonight. Got some work things we got to do. Yeah, Dave. Dez was so good. So good. Miss Dez Bryant. Wasn't Dez working out for a team? I saw that report that he was working out for a team. Yeah, recently, like last week. I'm almost positive Dez was working out for a team. But we'll be back tomorrow. More football talk. Recap the Thursday night game and get y'all ready for the weekend, man. Y'all have a great Thursday. And y'all see y'all tomorrow, man. We out. Peace.